So every once in a while, I get a message from someone that is having suicidal thoughts. And this is always, a very difficult conversation for me to have. It's a very sensitive topic. I don't take it lightly. And just today, actually, I received one of those messages from someone that is drinking a liter a night of vodka and having suicidal thoughts. And so I want to talk about this, to share a video about this, because you're not alone. There's many other people out there that are experiencing these same feelings, and that's why I wanted to talk about this, to share my best advice. And so what I want to start off by saying is that I'm not a doctor or a specialist of any kind. I'm just a guy who's made a lot of mistakes in his life, who's screwed up a lot, and decided to turn his mess into a message by trying to help others and show others the light. But with that being said, what I want to say is that when you're in this dark place, when you're having these type of thoughts, which I have had before, which I have been considering suicide and considering the worst options, when you're in that spot, is to seek help. It's okay. I know, a lot of times we like to, especially as men, just suck it up and just face the world, or even women. You just like to suck up your emotions, put them under the rug, take care of everybody else, and end up putting yourself last. But is to seek help, and that's why I want to share my story about how when I was having suicidal thoughts, I was so depressed. I remember there was nights I just couldn't even sleep, and my life was just a wreck. It just felt like there was no point to even go on, and so I went and I got professional help. I started going to a psychologist, and I remember at first when I went to, I didn't like. So I went to a different counselor, and then went to a psychiatrist, and until I finally found someone that went to a couple of different people, and I didn't like any of them, and I was getting even more frustrated because I was like, all these people are wasting my time and money. But then I finally, my dad kept edging me on, recommending it. He knew how bad I was hurting, and so I finally went, and I found someone. Just randomly online, I found someone, and this person was a man. And this guy was just phenomenal. He actually was a specialist in hypnotism as well. He had some kind of, I forget the name of it, but he had this very unique and special hypnotism type of technique that he'd used to help PTSD patients and all kinds of people. And I remember I was so depressed. When it was at the time, it was the main culprit of the depression was over one of the loves of my life, one of my ex that she had left me for another man, and I was just so brokenhearted, so depressed, and he hypnotized me with this. It was pretty crazy. These headphones and did these techniques, and within it took about 2-3 sessions, and within 2-3 sessions, just like that, I was healed. And it happened so quickly that it actually freaked me out. It scared me, because I was like, oh my gosh, I was just like completely heartbroken. And within just a couple of sessions, that agonizing pain that has been lasting for what felt like forever, all of a sudden is gone like that. And I had no more emotions toward her anymore. It was the weirdest thing. It actually kind of freaked me out, knowing how powerful that certain techniques can be to alter your brain like that. Unfortunately now, the guy, he's retired, and so he doesn't work with patients anymore, because I've had a lot of friends who've asked to go to him. But either way, he's not the only person in the world. There's a lot of other counselors out there and psychiatrists who have exercises and techniques and medicines that that they can use to help you. And I wouldn't have come out of that dark hole, and maybe would have made the worst decision possible, ending my life, or getting really sucked down into drugs and just completely destroying my life with alcohol. But the first step was seeking help. I knew that I was messed up, and so I started looking for help. And so, if you're if you're having these suicidal thoughts, I highly recommend, if you have family that you can talk to, which I know you may not, but if you do have family that you can talk to, I'd recommend going to them first, telling them about this, being open, that you have a problem, and that, and these emotions that you're feeling. If your family is not a good place to turn to, then if you have any friends, turn to them. Which, if I know some of us may not even have any quality friends to turn to, which I understand, that I've been in that situation as well. Then go on Google, look for specialists. There are alcohol rehab centers. Go visit your doctor, tell them what's going on, go look for a counselor, psychiatrist. And seek out help. Go on Google and search on what you can do, who you can find in your local area that you can help you. And it's okay. It's I would, if I needed it, I've turned my life around now where I'm really the happiest and consistently feeling good and peace in my life that I think that I've ever been. But if I ever did get that low in my life again, where I really felt like I was having these suicidal types of thoughts, my life was just really a mess, I would seek out help. I would go see a counselor or a psychiatrist or a counselor. There's no shame in that, and that's why there are, professionals that do this, that are, sometimes it just feels good to be able to talk to someone else that can, that will actually listen to you. I mean, how many people in this world actually, take the time to listen to another human being? Very few people. Nobody wants to listen to us, and so just that in itself, having someone to talk to, and then these people can help point you in the direction as well of who to help you. And I know when you're drinking as much as a liter of vodka a day, that quitting cold turkey might not be an option, because the withdrawals may just be too significant. So it can be a tricky process to wean off of alcohol when you're consuming that much alcohol on a regular basis. And that is why I firmly believe that the best option really is to go get help. There's nothing wrong with checking yourself into a rehab center if necessary. These are professional facilities that's what they're designed to do, and that is what their job to do. And they're going to be able to help you through this process in the most relaxed and comfortable way to help get you back to the healthiest and best version of you. And on a closing thought, what I want to say is that, I know that we're always seeking happiness in our life. We're always, thinking, oh, once I got this, once I, get the perfect girl, then I'm going to be happy. Once I get the perfect man, I'm going to be happy. Once I, pay off these debts, then I'm finally going to be happy. Once I do this, and we're always seeking all these things. Once I get sober, then I'm going to be happy. But the thing is, the matter is this, is that happiness is fleeting. Happiness isn't something you're always going to be able to hold on to like this. And what I've realized is that what is more consistent and what is more dependable a lot of time is pain and suffering. And that's why, and I know that sounds kind of cold, but that's why there's a great quote by Dr. Viktor Frankl, who wrote an excellent book called Man's Search for Meaning, who was a Holocaust survivor, a tremendous book, I highly recommend it. And in that book he wrote, to live is to suffer, to survive is to find meaning in the suffering. And that saying sounds cold, so cold. But I want you to look at it like this, that no matter what, like I say, we're always chasing after something, thinking that once we get this, we're going to be happy. But the truth is that the journey really is what brings us happy, as corny as that sounds, and to embrace whatever emotion and that you're experiencing at the time. So if you have to go to rehab and or counseling or therapy, and you have to go through an extreme period of depression and pain in order to get sober, in order to heal yourself, then to embrace it. Then to be okay, to know, hey, baby, bring on your worst. I know this is coming. I know that I'm going to be depressed. I know that it's coming. I'm going to go through, 30 days of hell. in order to change my life around, in order to get sober, in order to detox and to go through miserable withdrawals and everything like that, just know that you're probably going to be depressed going into it. You're probably going to suffer going into this. But to find meaning in the suffering, to embrace it, say, you know what, it's okay. It's okay if you experience these emotions. Embrace it. Find the meaning in it. Learn the lesson in it. We only want to be happy, but also it's okay to be depressed as well. To find the beauty in pain and dark emotions as well. I've learned now to appreciate the dark emotions, the sadness. That when I'm feeling sad, it's okay. It's all right. I don't only live my life just for this fleeting emotion of a happiness, because I know that it's not very sustainable, and it's just it's always flickering. As soon as you got it, it's gone. And so, but what is more dependable is suffering, because there's always going to be something that's going to come up. And if you can find beauty and meaning in the suffering, in the pain, then you've won. Because then when you do get happiness and those pleasurable emotions, then that's awesome. And then if you can also find meaning and some beauty and some meaning and some lessons from the suffering as well, then you've won the battle. You've really won the war, because no matter what, you're going to be okay. And so with that being said, I highly recommend anybody that is experiencing suicidal thoughts, dark, depressive type of emotions like this to, it's okay. Go seek some help. I did it, and I would certainly do it again if I ever needed to. Check yourself into a rehab. And just know that as you go through it, it's absolutely worth it to go through just 30 days of hell in order to live the rest of your life in paradise. There's another great quote, is that the path to glory is paved through hell. So sometimes you got to go through hell in order to get to paradise. And so you may have to go through a 30-day period of hell, but it's worth it to have a lifetime of paradise. Imagine at the end of it that all of a sudden you could completely turn around your life. You could begin to find happiness and joy in being sober, make new set of friends, attract a new life partner, start a new job, a new career, turn your body around, turn everything around. And then you could end up turning your mess into a message, and it'll end up being an inspiration to other people. And use the darkness of what you've been into to turn it around and be a light, to be able to light the darkness for somebody else. So, with that being said, guys, hope you have a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year. Let's make it a great life. See ya.